Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday, September 6th, about 1 o'clock p.m. And I'm telling you all these details of when it is because we want you to get used to tuning in with us about this time every Tuesday. We have a new feature at Dynamis Learning Academy, and it's going to be called Tuesday's Tips for Parents. It's going to air every Tuesday around 1 p.m., and I'm going to be your host. And every week, I'm going to try to provide you some insight and some tips that I've seen work and that I've seen happen with students and with their parents, which really help navigate the school year. As we all know, it's a busy time. The school year has started. There's all kind of extracurricular activities. Kids are getting deep into their studies, and it becomes very hard to navigate that school life balance. And so we have a blog on our website about that this week. And also, it's what prompted Helen and I to talk about this new feature and ultimately decide on doing it. We want to give you tips and advice and share insights on what we see, what is working, and how things can work for you and your student and your child better. So we're going to call it Tuesday's Tips for Parents. This week, it's going to be centered around that school life balance, but it doesn't always have to be around that. So be sure and stay tuned for future episodes of what we're going to be discussing. And my hope is that we can develop kind of our own relationship. I've talked about that on various other episodes, the relationship that a tutor can build with the student and with the teacher and with the parent. So my hope is that you and I, the parent, build a relationship through this Facebook Live, and that we are able to talk through here, off camera, however the case may be, to where we can work together ultimately for the success of your child. That's why we're here. That's why we're in this business. That's what we want to get, what we want to do is have success for your child. So I hope you'll enjoy tuning in here every week and learning more about tips and what you can do. Now, let me say this up front. Not everything will work. And what has worked for me may not work for you. You know, it just depends a lot on the situation, on your child, what he or she responds to. But these are going to be tips that we think will work based on what we've seen and know through the years being involved in education. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Like I say, it's not going to be as long as the Lunch and Learns that we've done in the past. This is a whole new episode. It's going to be 10 to 12 minutes. That's it. And we'll just talk very friendly, one-on-one with each other and talk about what may work. And again, I've got the screen scrolling down underneath about how to contact Helen. You can contact me at bill@dynamislearningacademy.com. And we can also have conversations offline about what may work for your child. But let's get on it very quickly. As I said, the theme for today is school life balance. You know, you've got to have a life and you got to go to school, right? And so how do you maintain that proper balance on what to do? And I have a very good theory on that. I think in today's world, everything is technology driven, whether it be phones, planners, calendars, whatever, right? It's all technology driven, and we tend to rely on that a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have a calendar on my phone. I have a to-do list on my phone. But what I have found through my experience the last couple of years tutoring is there's nothing that replaces that board, that calendar, that place in your home where you, your children, your husband, if you're a husband, your wife, whatever the case may be, there's a dry erase board or some type of board you can write on in your home. And it's located in a central location that all the children, all the parents are going to see. And it can be used as a communication center for what you want to see happen. Now, we can get very basic and say there are to-do lists. Like, I've got to pick child A up at 3, or I've got to pick child A up at 4:45, or I need to take him here for his extracurricular activities. Those are very basic. But what you can also do on these boards is you can set goals for you, for your child, and they can be great reminders on what you want your child to accomplish this week. List them down. Every day, talk with your child. Make it a point of communication about this week, we really want to work on this, or this week, we really want to work on something else, right? And so this dry erase board, central communication center, whatever you want to maybe call it, you can call it whatever you want, right? But the thing is, it's easy to erase, it's easy to change. You can communicate so many different levels of communication on this board. Can also be great places for positive motivational quotes, little notes you need to make here and there, congratulatory messages on a job well done, all kind of things. But the key is making it a place that your child goes every day, and you go every day, and you communicate a lot of what you want to happen on this board. Now, that it doesn't replace human interaction and talking, certainly not, but it is a place for school life balance to be really put down in steps and in goals and achievements, and you'll be able to hopefully get a little bit better grasp on what you're wanting to do that week. Will it all go as planned? No. You'll have to change, you'll have to alter, but at least you're attempting that organization and that planning skill that will help you and your child. Now, the reason I bring this up is we are seeing more and more of that this year at Dynamis. And I mentioned this to Helen once. I joined Dynamis almost over a year or two ago, and I joined as a tutor, helping her tutor children. And I would go in with an hour-long session, and we would tutor a particular concept, and that was how it worked. And that's fine. If that's what you need, that's fine. But what we're seeing this year, and what a lot of my sessions have adapted into, is more of a all-encompassing session where we're talking about goals, or we're talking about what we can work on, or how we could organize things better, or what we could do to make the experience at school better, whether it's talking to the teacher, the parent, whatever. I see myself more in a role of consulting almost, but also tutoring. I'm not saying we're not going over particular concepts or formulas in math, or organization and writing. That is all still true. But what we're finding at Dynamis is that we can really bring an added benefit to you, to help your child set goals, set SMART goals, right? How to get those all down on paper, how to get organized, how to work with particular strategies in math, or in language arts, or science, or social studies. It's not just me going, here's how you do A plus B plus C equals 9, right? It's not that. It's more of, let's work on this today. Let's talk about how we can do better at this. What are some things we need to do in our session that help us learn better, to be focused more, to get a better grasp on what's going on? How are you doing in your other subjects? Are you running out of time? Do you need some time management practice? At Dynamis, we bring a wealth of experience. Helen has over 25 plus years experience. I was a teacher for over 10 plus years. So we can bring, and that's what we're hoping to do here, things to you that have worked for us and that we have seen work with parents, so that you can hopefully get a better idea and a better grasp on that school life balance. Let us help you. We can do it. And, there's nothing wrong with saying, I can't do it. I work, 50 hours a week. I've got to clean the house. I've got to run errands. I've got to cook. I've got to do whatever the case may be. You are not a superhero, although you are, but you don't have to be. Use someone like Dynamis, like me, to help you navigate that balance and use our resources and our knowledge to help you do the things you need to do. You can't do it all. You are a superhero for being a wonderful parent, right? But you still can't do it all. No one can do it all. And so, if we work together and do the things that we can together and learn from what every person knows and can bring to the table, we stand a lot better chance of success for your child, which is ultimately what we want. I hope that makes sense to you. It's something we're seeing more and more every day. We don't know if it's from the pandemic. We don't know if from virtual, or we don't know if it's just from larger classroom sizes or what. But there's not that sense of personalization and customization in any subject that we're seeing. I'll use an example that happened last week. I had a student of mine go to the teacher for help on homework, and the response was, "I can't help you with homework. You have to do it." I'm like, "What? You can't help with homework? When did teaching become not being able to help with homework?" Now, I'm not talking about teachers. I know they've got a wonderful responsibility and a great responsibility, and there have been so many limitations and restrictions and things put on them that it would be hard for me to go back in the classroom, right? I don't know that I would want to. So I admire teachers and the job they do. But whatever has happened over the course of 2 or 3 years where you can't help with homework for some reason or another, there's a disconnect there. And so what we can do, that's what we can do. We can personalize, we can customize, we can develop a plan for your child that helps you um, um, have better success and ultimately have a better balance of life. School's important, but so is life. So is downtime. So is spending quality time with your family. So is getting outside, going and doing things, watching TV, watching sports, doing sports, being in the band. All those things are crucial to a well-rounded, successful person. And so don't lose sight of that. Use your communication strategy through a board, like I suggested at the first. Let's try that, see how that helps you. But work with us, get us to help you, and let us help you work on a more well rounded plan that will make your child successful. I've enjoyed being with you today. This has been Tuesday's Tips, which you'll now see every week on Tuesday. And I look forward to bringing other tips to you along the way. Please, I encourage you, please reach out to us at helen@dynamislearningacademy.com or bill@dynamislearningacademy.com and give us feedback. Tell us what's working, what's not working. We can evaluate it, see where we maybe need to change. And we will do all that as part of the tutoring service that we provide at Dynamis. Helen and I talk often. Dynamis Learning Academy, a K through 12 tutoring service. But we're so much more, and we can be so much more for you if you allow us. So hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Take care, everyone.